Alright, we're back, and we have yet another beer to review. Another beer sent to me by the Albino Rhino, so big thanks to him. And this is a seasonal Innis Gunn. Is their Espresso Barleywine. So this is a rich barley wine infused with roasted coffee beans and spices. So that's cool. 37 days matured. The days they mature seem to be getting smaller and smaller all the time. Anyway, they say robust oak-aged barley wine, infused with coffee. I don't need to. What do they put for spices? Cardamom, mace, and cloves. So this almost sounds like it's a winter warmer instead of a real barley wine. And given the how thin their bodies tend to be on Innis Gunn beers, I'm wondering if that's what this will end up turning out to be. 8.4% alcohol by volume, but we shall see. We shall see. Gonna open it up and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Innis Gunn Espresso Barleywine. So let's see what we think. A spiced up beer. It's supposed to be a barley wine, so hoping for some body on this. Definitely. So she's probably a deep ruby red. We're getting that light-wise through there. She looks pretty dark, though, just looking at it without any real light source coming through. Sort of, I wouldn't say quite pitch black, but it looks like a really dark, dark, dark brown. Some nice color on it. And we'll go right to the aroma. Ooh, that's nice. Mmm. You know what they say about the aging here? They say it's oak aged, so I don't know if it's in. They say oak aged, so I'm assuming right in barrels instead of if it was wood chips or whatever, they'd say aged over oak instead of just oak aged. So all about, man, it smells really good. Really nice big coffee smell on that. I'm getting a little bit of the spices. I'm definitely getting some clove, getting some vanilla, getting some oak in the background. It definitely smells unlike any other Innis Gunn beer, which is a good thing. They seem to be getting the hint that they should get away from all their range of beers, pretty much smelling and having like really common taste notes, and trying to, you know, get some different things going on. So they seem to be doing that here so far. Excuse me. Fuck this fucking cough. Every time I want to talk, it starts bringing up my cough. Alright, so it smells really good. It smells pretty rich too. It's I wouldn't quite say espresso, honestly. It just smells like really well roasted coffee, but I wouldn't quite say the deep, dark, evil espresso, like authentic espresso, but who knows. Could be the spices throwing it off a little bit as well. So we'll go right to the taste. Cheers. Whoa. Okay. Definitely getting a lot of coffee on that. And there's sweetness as well. Kind of a sweet, kind of like a heavily sugared espresso. A lot of sweetness in it. Now espresso tends to give off, like just naturally espresso tends to give off a certain sweetness as well. Just from the roast, there's a bit of a sweet element to that, but it's not quite as intense as what's going on here. That being said, the sweetness in this isn't cloying. seems to match the coffee taste quite well. Spices come up fairly subtly, and it finishes, well, let's go back into the finish here. Really big coffee finish. A little bit of vanilla and oak in there, but mostly coffee. Again, it doesn't quite taste like espresso to me. It tastes more like green coffee, if you're familiar with what that is. It sort of has that weird, I can't even explain it. If you've had what they call green coffee, you might know what I'm talking about here, but it sort of has that finish to it. I've had a couple beers that have had green coffee in it, and it's similar taste here. The body is unfortunately pretty thin. I'd say it's close to medium bodied, I guess, but you know, so honestly probably a bit thicker than usual even for Innis Gunn, but not quite where I'd want it to be a barley wine. The spiciness, the flavor, comes off as a bit of a dessert beer more than it does a barley wine. Although barley wines can be dessert beers, but I mean, this comes off more of a dessert beer. Not quite winter warmer status, I'd say. I'm not really feeling any alcohol in it. Not feeling the spices punching at me. That being said, it tastes really good. It's an interesting switch from the usual stuff that Innis Gunn is doing, so thumbs up for that. Always great to see that. But I don't think it's that great, honestly. It's kind of misses the mark for me for what I want from it. And as a barley wine, it doesn't really work. But I will go 3.5 out of 5. I think that's about as high as I'll go. It's a really well done beer. I can't say it's exactly my favorite from Innis Gunn though, but it's definitely worth trying out. I think you'll probably enjoy it, especially if you're like a long time sort of Innis Gunn fan. You'll enjoy something that's almost radically different from a lot of the stuff they do. So, in that way, it's quite a success for them, and I hope they keep doing stuff like this, whether they're good beers or bad beers. I mean, I prefer good beers, but it's nice to see them branching out a little bit. I think this one could do with being in the barrels for a bit longer, honestly. Maybe a little too sweet, and it needs to be thicker. It needs to be more malty, honestly, and then they might have something on their hands. But as a first-year release of this, hopefully they'll release it again and tinker with it a bit, but it doesn't quite make the mark, but still pretty good stuff. So cheers.